In this video, I'm going to be building and testing a remote control space shuttle, but I also found something else. More on that later. For this build, I'm going to be using the DX5E controller and 5mm foam board. The first thing I'm going to do is trace out the wings so I can cut it out. These two wings will be glued together to make a strong base structure where the electronics can go on top of. To make the nose of the aircraft steady, I glued two pieces of 5mm foam board together and then shaved off the excess to make a nose that's also sturdy. After cutting out the shape of the nose, I had to put a spacer in between so I could easily fit it right over the fuselage part. After gluing all the parts together, I glued a long piece of foam board underneath the fuselage of the shuttle so I can grab it and launch it with my hand. With the foam board shuttle complete, now I need to add the electronics and all the smaller parts to make it move. I use 9-gram metal gear servos for the ailerons behind. This will provide plenty of torque at high speeds so the servos don't stall. For the receiver, I'm using a Spectrum compatible receiver, which makes it easy to use. And that gets glued straight to the fuselage. You want to make sure you stick the antennas in the opposite direction so you have the best chance of not losing signal. Because the battery is not a standard 3-pin, I added the switch to make it easy to switch on and off. And that concludes the basic build. I'm using the standard 1-cell 500 mAh 3.7 volt batteries to power the space shuttle. For this first flight, I just wanted to see how it felt in the air gliding down and if it needed any trimming. It did perform a very nice flare at the end there, which is a good sign. That's how normal planes and space shuttles land when coming in for the landing. So the back wheels touch first on the runway and then the nose wheel. This also gets rid of that last bit of speed that the aircraft will have. This was one of the best flights I had because the plane was trimmed correctly and the CG was perfect. On this test, on the last few seconds, I tried to pull up and it tip-stalled. Also, while I was filming this, I actually found a duck in a bush that was sitting on eggs. This was my pet duck, and I can confidently say she is sitting on eggs that will hatch into small ducklings, which is very exciting, so stay tuned for the side quest. Also, in the next video, where I drop it from a DJI Avatar drone, I'm going to be dropping it from different heights and suspending the shuttle meters above the ground.